So if we just take what we had in the previous example, we have our running JVM and we have our array list. I will start by drawing the array and the object that's pointing to that. And this was, its reference was people. Okay. Okay, so we just remind ourselves that the type of this object is array list of person. Okay. And then we have our references to those person objects we added. Okay, so again, these are all floating somewhere, but we have references to them. Okay. One of the important things is we have this index. So we know that this is 0, this is 1, and this is 2. Okay. And then we know that the size of this, let me put that in, this is actually the index in yellow, and the size is going to be 3. Okay. And I'm just going to change my mind that that's probably a really bad place to put that. Let's put that somewhere else. The index. Okay. Now I already created these 3 person objects in the last example. One thing I could do is I can say people dot add, and this is one of the crazy things you can do in Java. You can just create an anonymous or an object with no reference. So we can just create me a new person object, just call the constructor. Okay, and what will happen is, well, we don't actually have enough space here, so our array will have to grow and actually include that. So here is our new object, and we will have it. Oh, I did that again. That's not smart. I need to change that shortcut because that is very confusing. If anyone's interested in the mental process there, what happens is I want to write 3, so I press it on the keyboard instead of actually drawing it. Somehow I haven't managed to get around that. Okay, so we then have this, we've added a fourth person object. Okay. And of course, this means now that our size of our array will actually increase. So this will now be 4. Okay. Some of the things that can trick people is, of course, that we count from 0. Okay. At least in Java, when we were talking about these indexes. Okay. Also, if you want to get the last element, if you don't know how many elements you have added, the last element can be simply got by saying, well, get me the size of this array minus 1, okay? Because 4 minus 1 will give us the last element, which is a nice way to do it. Okay. Beyond the size, we also had the capacity as well. And if you go, it depends on which version of Java you're running, but most likely when you create an array list, it'll create an array of size 10. Let's see if I can do this in one go. Was that 10 elements? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Wow, that's amazing. Okay. By default, an array list will give you size 10, an array. And when I said size, I meant capacity 10. And if you only have, let's say we have a couple of elements in that array, then of course the size will be only the number of elements, so equal to 4. Okay. Of course, as we keep adding more and more objects to these places, eventually, internally, the array list will add on a certain amount of space, new capacity. Okay. So that's kind of the basic behavior. But again, one of the most important things is as we add elements, they form a linear sequence, one after the other. And that order gets maintained until we do something to actually change that. Okay.